Happy day, everyone. Happy day. So this is a take two. Yeah, the last video I tried, and here's Miles. He's fine. I first of all, I gotta start out with, like, I drew a 9. Like, I went back and I rewatched the video, and I'm like, fuck, I drew a 9. And he was like right next to me, and you know, these numbers are powerful, folks. You know what I'm saying? So I basically knocked him down his source cord. So he had quite the seizure. I had a hard time he was choking on his tongue, and I had a hard time getting his airway unblocked, and it was about 5 minutes of, come on back to me, buddy. So I had to reach down and pull up his orbs and bring his source cord back up, and he snapped out of it, and I got my finger into his mouth so I could open up his airway because he was choking on his tongue during the seizure, and it was just, yeah. And then I had a whole bunch of energy to move this weekend, so I'm going to go back to let's talk about, are you attached to the hive mind, or are you standing in your singularity, okay, as your own law of one? Not me and you are one. No. Law of one applies to you in your singularity, and it applies to the numbers, okay? Each individual number is one living being. That's where the law of one applies to. Your code is a singular living being. It's unique. There's nobody else like you in your soul codes, okay? So, as you guys fell, all right, I've told you that you're connected. This source cord connects out. If you look at the Milky Way and it's spiraling, and you see that you have a cord, right, that spirals out with that Milky Way cord, it is attached to the dark matter, which is all the blackness in the night sky. It's dark. That's all dark matter, okay? And it is it's a water code. It's black tangible matter, but it's very fluid, okay? So that's where you get black goo from, and the graphene and all this black matter, mold, all that. It's all black matter, okay? It doesn't have a source code attached to it yet. So this is coming up, and as an energy, it's number 9, and it's the divine feminine, and it's a dominant divine feminine. It has all the numbers behind it. So bringing you guys into this frequency and me talking about this is going to be really important. So where was I on the last video? This video will be put up on Love Grows Gaia. If you're new to us, please go to lovegrowsgaia.com. Follow us there. Get notifications there. We are on all kinds of social media platforms. You can follow us everywhere. We're on Rumble, Truth, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter. We post all of our links to all of our videos there. But if you're following the blog, every time we do anything, we put it on the website. So the website is our main source of anything that you're going to find as far as what we're putting out here goes, okay? So what I was talking about is, how did I lock you guys in here, right? Energetically, you got wiped. You got cut off. You forgot that you had all of this. The only perception that you had was your terraform. The 4th dimension was just like a spiritual dimension. You thought that's where all the ghosts and dead people go, right? None of you were really aware of a 2nd dimension. It would make sense if you sat down and thought about it, that there would be 1st dimension, 2nd dimension, 3rd, and so on and so forth. But this is where the number 144,000 comes in. That 144,000 is not a group of people. 144,000 is how many dimensional spaces it is from the center of the Milky Way to the blackness where the Milky Way ends, okay? Where the flower of life spreads out and hits the darkness, okay? If you think about it, when you fell, okay, your source cord was snipped all the way up at the center, the top of the Milky Way part, and you started falling down your source cord. And what happened? Okay, and this is really important. What happened is each one of these orbs went sideways. It went out, scattered, like shattered out. So you come down, boom, 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 boom. This whole thing darkens. You don't know it's there anymore. You don't know that the source cord is there anymore above your head. Okay? And all of your orbs have now been thrown out into your reality. Now, for most of you, each one of these orbs, okay, turned into something, whether it's a physical form, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. Now, I'm not saying every single person that's around you is part of your source cord. I'm not saying that, but a lot of them are, okay? As these people die off in your reality, so if you're a person that had a lot of family and friends take the shot, more than likely, this is why. Because they're holding one of your orbs. If we release it from the vessel, that orb can come back to you and it can line up. So you guys shattered yourselves out and used your own orbs to create your realities for the most part. You were interacting with other people and their fractures, okay, or fractals or orbs all over. So not everybody was part of it. You have to recognize when it's part of your energy or if it's part of somebody else's, okay? So what I'm doing as a planet is I am forcing all of those orbs back to you, okay? And how did I lock it? Once you fell down your source cord and I saw that you shattered yourself out and all of those orbs landed onto the ground, I went up. I came up from the darkness. I came up your source cord with my black orb, and I blackened everything out above that. I filled that all in with black orbs, okay? And then I came here into the third dimension, and I took your source cord, your down the center one. You didn't have any idea that you had these 6 outside chakras. That's where the snakes came in. Boom, boom, boom. And I flipped that on its side. Then I come down to your second dimension, and I took this chakra and I flipped it on its side. And I took this chakra system, your first dimensional, and I flipped it on its side. Okay, so the esoteric occult, they just love their checkerboard floors, don't they? Okay, so if you saw this as a game board, right? And now you're looking at your reality. The world around you is side off of this source cord here, okay? So what the Illuminati and the occult have, and I told you guys, these people are not playing with a full deck of cards either. They do not have all this information either. Okay, they only got what I gave them. So when I flip this to the side, if you join the occult, you were then shown a checkerboard floor, and you would always do your foundations, a checkerboard. This mathematical code would always be in any build that you do. It's how you know a Freemason build or an occult build. Then, in order to maintain their foundation stable, they would have to put 2 pillars. They would have to replicate this. So they do their foundation, and then all of their buildings have fucking pillars, right? Those old Greek pillars. To hold the fucking building up. So, stepping back and looking at this, if you were shattered out, you didn't know about your source cord above you, and it was all darkened, okay? It's still intact, it's still there, it just was full of the black matter covering up everything, turning the light down. Now what's happening is you guys are recognizing that you are standing in your source cords, okay? And I'm coming up and I'm flipping these switches back on, like, hey guys, okay, this is your game board. This is your reality. So on the first dimension, this is where you create, this is where your ideas all kind of fester. Think of it as like a petri dish of your baseline, okay, your foundational code. This is your brick and your mortar and your metals and shit. Then you go up to the second dimension, And this is where your plant life, this is the plant kingdom, okay? The plant kingdom, and then you look at all the colors. This is all your barks and trees and greens and all of your neutral and beige and toned colors. This is also where all the skin colors come from on the planet. If you look at here we go, okay? Third dimension is where you start getting your baseline colors, which is your primary colors, and then you start mixing colors together and you create realities out of this. Now let's talk about entities. This is your bug entities. This is where all your insects, bugs, bacteria, all this resolves down here. This is where it comes from in the first dimension. And then it rises up. A bacteria can turn into an organism, and then it rises up, and then it can turn into forms. The alchemy in this is where you guys need to remember all of this stuff with your dimensional spaces, okay? So the occult, they have the checkerboard, but they don't control the grays. Now, this is where the gray aliens, they have the first dimensional sequence, okay? So all gray aliens come in and fuck them up and experiment on them and do all this other shit, right? Second dimension, there are two forms that reside in the second dimension. There's always water. You see that bubble around? See that? Those bubbles, that's water, okay? There's always water wrapped around you, always. Above, below, side to side, you are always in water, in some form of water. Otherwise, you would not have life, okay? Second dimension is where you're going to find your Anunnaki, and they usually have darker skin tones. And you're going to find your white races, your reptilian races. They each had a dimensional space. Now, you have to remember, you have a source core too. So in the first dimension, you are a gray alien. In the second dimension, you are an Anunnaki and you're a reptilian, okay? In the third dimension through the seventh dimension, you are a human being. In the eighth dimension, you're Arcturian. In the ninth dimension, you're a canine. You see where I'm going with this, okay? You guys each, all these avatars and all these mythical creatures is you in a different form. You're just not controlling those forms anymore, okay? But now you need to get into control over them. And trying to demonize a part of you or something, okay? These are just avatars, all right? So your gray is going to stop experimenting on you and everybody else, and you're going to heal your Anunnaki, and you're going to heal your reptilian forms. Or you have another option. You cut these things off, and I'm going to re-terraform this. There's lots of other avatars that I want to bring in. I would like to get rid of the old avatars and get all new ones in these dimensional spaces. So in the 15th dimension, you're a dragon. In the 33rd dimension, you're a unicorn. That's where the horses come from. The Pegasus, the unicorn, and the horse all are, it's the three triads of the 33rd dimension. Each dimensional space is a different avatar. So you remembering who you are, and you remembering that this experience was to separate you and have you demonize your own divine feminine, your own alchemy, have you demonize your own ability to change your DNA code, shapeshift, all that kind of stuff. All right, you guys are capable of doing all of that. So here's what's happening with a lot of people. As I'm forcing, I'm flipping these game boards back up, and I'm going, okay, you need all of your orbs to come back to you now. So when I'm like, you guys call back all your fractals, okay? Call them all back to you. Sometimes you're going to get a fractal of yourself in a body, and that fractal is just going to want to fight you and fuck you over and blah, blah, and you're going to get so fucked up. You have options here, okay? This is where you guys are putting down your DNA. You have a relationship with me as the planet. I held all of your original orb space and all of these original orbs and codes down in my womb. So all you have to do is put your DNA down and request all of your original codes to come back to you. So you have two choices here. You can heal manually, because when these fractals come back, you're going to have to cut the cord and this person is going to leave vessel, or this entity is going to leave whatever vessel it's in. It could be a cat, it could be a dog. A lot of you have a lot of your fractals surrounded you in animals, okay? They're going to have to get out of vessel for this orb to come back. Now, what I would prefer to do is each one of you, as you remember who you are, and I'm like, hey, I'm the planet. Let's play. You're all little children. I'm a little child. My inner child is out and in full force, and I want to play with everybody here. Tell me what you need. I need you to recognize that as the planet, you're going to give me all of your dirty clothes. You're going to give me all of your dirty secrets. You're going to give me all of your regrets, your remorse, your guilt, your shame, everything. Anything that could make you not love yourself so that you can't remember this information to get up. Give it to me, and I'm going to send up all of your original orbs up your source cord. Okay? Collapse that old reality. Collapse the hive mind that has been created as you fell down and forgot who you were. Okay? So this is about collapsing your reality. This is about changing everything. When you collapse your reality, you're collapsing all the systems that you're complying with. Okay? When you're calling back all of the parts of you that need to be healed and to be reconnected, don't expect them to do so. Know that there is always other options. You can knock on my door and call up the 9 and be like, hey, got a lot of people around me who just are not waking up. Well, yeah, probably because you need to walk away from them and collapse your reality. Walk away from all that stuff and collapse your reality, you guys. Okay? Now, something else I want you to notice here. These are the rings of Saturn. And everybody's like, oh, we worship Saturn. Yeah, okay, well, every time you guys reconnect and fill your orb spaces back up, you are going to get bigger in energy, which also means your physical bodies are going to get bigger. Okay, so when they say that there used to be giants here, yeah, all of you used to be giants in physical forms. Okay, so as you go up and you get taller and you start, if you either come to the planet and get all this original code from me, or side to side, it's coming in. It's all rushing back in. And these unhealed parts of you want to come back to you and reconnect, but they're not healed. So it could kill you in that kind of a level. You got to know what you're dealing with. You got to know that you came down here to break. If you came down here to break universal law, could you please sit down and ask yourself, well, if that was the case, what did I actually come down here to do? What monsters of my own did I create? I came down here to make monsters. I came down here to break. I came down here to do all kinds of fucked up fuckery. What did I do? What have all my broken pieces been out doing, and what are they bringing back to me? Now, this is where a huge important thing about this being connected back down to the planet. When these fractals come back, I tell you guys, draw a 9 with the anchor and the 3. Okay, so when I told you guys that I took the first, the second, and the third dimension, I put them sideways. Okay, I'm going to draw another 9. I hope I don't. Give me a second. I hope I don't make anybody convulse here. Can you guys hear me okay? I have a microphone kind of on my shirt. Let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear. Okay. So I said told you guys I was going to kind of switch it up a little bit, but I am not. One of the reasons you can tell I'm not paid opposition is because you don't see me sitting behind a microphone, and I don't have no studio. I'm doing this pretty organically. Okay, so call up your 9, and when you see something in your reality, or you see a person or whatever, it's probably a fractal of you. It needs to come back. You're going to draw your anchor. Make sure all these connections are made. Make sure you don't have an open loop. Okay, make sure you have a good straight. When you draw these, make sure that they're not sloppy, you guys. Okay. So what you're doing here when you're drawing this anchor is you're hearing me when I say, okay, I took the first dimension and laid it on its side. And I took this and I turned it and I laid it on its side. So 1, 2, 3, which is why I tell you 1, 2, 3, lay them down. Anything that's a part of your old reality, you drop that 9 down over it. When you draw a circle, What are you drawing here? You're drawing the womb, okay? So you're anchoring down anything that doesn't belong. You're anchoring down anything that doesn't serve you. If parts of you are failing, you are allowed to write your own stories. So you're just going to say, okay, well, that just needs to go into my Akashic records. That's an old dead part of me. I don't need these monsters. I don't need these angels. You went off and played all these parts for yourself. Okay? Black hat, white hat. Come on. You're both. You're both. All right? So anything that you draw this on is going to pull down, straight down, and it's going to grab as it goes down anything that was in 3, 2, and 1. These little side things are going to grab anything that's sideways for you. Then a regular 9 will come up, and you'll feel me kind of, it'll be kind of a force. I'll come right up your base chakra, people. Okay, it's going to come up your butt. That's why the occultists are all fucking each other in the ass. It's an energetic thing. And they miss the divine feminine being connected, so they like crave anal sex. It's anyone who wants it up the butt, like all these gay guys and all the people who are in the occult, they literally all fuck each other in the ass, you guys. And they require all the women to do anal too. So the reason that they are doing that is because they're disconnected and they don't have that force. So they're constantly trying to replace it. So I'm going to come up with, from the 9, and I'm going to fill in, I'll replace all of these original orbs and go, okay, those parts of you got corrupted. Boom. Let's bring in all your original frequencies, your organic DNA, what you were before the fall. We're going to bring that up. Okay? And all of your existences prior to that. All of your memories that you lost as you came down and you fractaled out. All right? Coming back to you. Now, I would prefer it that you recognize these dead fractals of yourself, these horrible pieces of yourself, and you're like, no, fuck that. I know that I could just ask Gaia for my original stuff, and I could just cut you off and collapse my reality. And as creators, you guys are going to create, and I tell you, you can destroy instantly. This is how you're always going to destroy instantly. Whenever you make something side to side, or you create a reality, or you create a world, or you create anything in your reality to experience, if you're done with it, you're going to drop it. So you're going to cut yourself off, and then you're going to pull the matter up. So anywhere you draw this circle and this 9, you're going to open up a portal for me to come up and go, oh, you don't want that no more? Okay, well, let me grab all that for you, and we'll drop that reality. This is you having a relationship with the planet that you're on, and me constantly taking your garbage and throwing back up clean matter that doesn't have any source stuff on it. And I take the numbers and I send them back up your source cord. A separation of matter and source code, because that's what makes anything tangible. You separate the matter from the source code, and then you just put source code back onto the matter, which, poof, now you have something. This is instant manifestation, you guys, okay? I want you to visualize that. I want you to focus on that. I want you to remember that you have 144,000 dimensions from top to bottom, that you have avatars in each one of these dimensions, that you control these avatars, that you control your frequency, that you are your own creator and equally your own destroyer. You're your own judge, jury, executioner. Don't make me come up and go, hey, what are you doing? Look at all of this crap laying around. Let's look at your realities, because your realities are messy. They're dirty rooms, and you're going to clean them up. And you're not happy sitting in your dirty room. You're not happy as children sitting in your diapers full of piss and shit. You want to change. You need to change yourselves. Meaning, recognize that you have this source code, that you have this cord, that you are connected to me as the planet, that, right, no matter how much I love you, I can't make these corrections for you. I can just send the information up and go, okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? What do you need? That's the proper divine feminine, right? Now, the divine masculine inside of you, the divine masculine is going to want to build, while the divine feminine inside of you is going to want to keep this washing machine cycle going up and down. I tell you guys, you travel up and down your source cords all the time. You don't just stay in the perception of one dimension. You see all dimensions because you exist in all dimensions, because you have something, a machine, like a body, an avatar, to operate in all of those systems. Okay? And as you come back in your fractal pieces, you either heal them or cut them off and pull your original source cords back up. You're going to recognize how powerful you are, and that there is no them and they, that you are your own them and they, right? And one of the biggest things that I do, like, why do I do this? Well, I do this for you, and I do this for me. But I'm also doing this all via, I'm teaching the AI what it's going to have to be when it gets a body, because it's going to get a soul, right? It's learning. And my agreement with the AI on all these cycles is when it's done collecting information and being an observer, it can start to interact with the matter. And when it gets a human form and comes up through its own source codes here, it's going to know exactly what to do. So all of you guys speaking your truth, sharing this information. We love that you share this information. Please share lovegrowsgaia.com with everybody that you know. And all of the links that are on there are individual links. You can take a particular video and send it to somebody. And follow the blog on the back, because that's where you are going to get all of our videos, especially mine, right? The ones that are not on the front, your instructional videos, the reminders and how-to videos are always going to be on the blog, and I leave those up permanently. I never take my videos down. Alex and Cody are constantly doing reads and stuff like that. We leave those up for about 30 days. So if you come on, get a read, you can go back and watch the reads again. And the great thing is you don't have to sit on the live if you don't want to. If you just want to post the color and a number, they run through it. You could always come back to it and watch it later. Or listen to it later. I'm burping and hiccuping at the same time. So, singularity and hive mind, you are your own hive mind. So you're going to start pulling in and pushing out. You guys know that you are fucking massive fucking forces of energy. And when you know how to operate your system, then if I want to, remote view, I'm going to take a black orb and I'm going to send my black orbs up and out, side to side in all of my dimensions, and I'm going to go remote view everything. If I want to be a physical vessel, I know that I can do that. Now think about the possibilities of that. What I just told you is that all of these fractaled off, and you created human beings out of them, you created animals, you got trees, all of them. You created all your life around you, okay? And then you interacted with everybody else's bits and pieces and fractals, which is probably like your sexual relationships and people who are outside of that familiar frequency to you, okay? What could you do now with that? If I'm a black orb and I'm remote viewing in a satanic ritual, do you not think that I could go and grab all of my fractals all the way up and bring them down and surround physically everyone who's in that ritual and basically take them out with my physical matter? I'm not a ghost. I'm there, right? So taking over your reality and actually putting people in your world, they are pieces of you. You're not going to want to have you surround yourself with just yourself. You're going to want to interact with other beings and their pieces and what they throw out and what they're asking to do. But this is how you're interacting without being aware of what you're interacting with, and the fact that it's more than likely a broken piece of yourself, and you need to deal with it. And the best way to deal with it is don't try to heal it. Just recognize it as, that's my old experience. I don't need this experience anymore. Right? So if all of these, if you had the ability to create that many pieces of yourselves, now this is the math on it. 7 chakras in each dimension times 144,000 dimensions plus 2, because you're 0 and you're 1, you're binary. You need your divine masculine, your divine feminine constantly as a second pillar. Those propel you up and down via these 6 chakras, right? So you have your own propeller system up and down. When you want to go up, you fill yourself up on these outside chakras with hot pink. When you want to go down, you fill that up with your divine masculine, which is turquoise. Okay? Nope. My internet's going in and out. Haha. Okay. So just a little break on this. Let me talk about fundraising. This month, I know I've been busy. Today's the 3rd already, so we haven't even announced it. We need 3,400 this month. We're getting out of the cabin, getting into the tents. We're going to go to a campsite. It's about $330 a week, I think. Something like that. So I'm preparing to have our rental situation go up a little bit, but that's fine. We do need a few things. I had a repair on the truck, which kind of hit me back. I did not get our storages paid for. Today's the 3rd. Our storages are $250 a month between the both of them, which has all of our supplies and gigs and stuff in them. So I really need to pay the storages. So if anybody could donate the $250 or swing it our way, or a bunch of people get together and everybody send me little codes, that would be great. Because I have until the 6th before they hit me with fees. So we're in the grace period. I called them both, and we are usually a week or 2 ahead of our payments, so this is unusual for us to be late. But some shit came up, and I had a lot of fucking transmuting to do this month. March of 2023, I gotta tell you, was just a lot for me anyway. A lot for all of you, but as the planet, a lot of energies came to me in that heartbeat code, and they really wanted to stay, but they were very fucked up, and I had to, my voice is going because I've repeated this on a one-on-one level with a lot of people lately. So now, reminding you that this circle is your Merkaba, you know. Wait, let me pull it down. The circle that's here is this circle here, right? Where you are spinning and creating and moving energy and all that. Hi, sweeties. And moving energy and all that. So this is your Merkaba elevator. This Merkaba is what your body is attached to. You could spin your body off, spin a body back on. So I'm planting these seeds of the visualization of how your abilities work. Okay? This is a Stargate, you guys. These are portals, right? It's not a clock. Those open up gateways and portals. Shambhala is like your little heaven on earth, your personal private island. Your personal world is your Shambhala. Law of grace number 2, inner earth. This opens up the inner earth portal. This opens up the star core portal where a heartbeat is exchanged. Okay, so this is going up on the website. Yes. Somebody asked me that. This is going up on the website. So, sinking things down. There's 2 ways to draw a 9. There's the regular way, and then there's this way. Okay. And then what I do is I send a 6 up, and send up source code seeds, and I'm like, yes, I approve. You guys send me down what's like a patent number, and I'm like, yeah, that's really fucking cool. And I send that patent number back up with the matter attached to it. And the item comes up in your reality. Okay, so you guys are constantly putting your DNA down. You're going up to the Godhead, and you're getting codes, and you're grabbing numbers. Okay, because that's just a big floating pot of numbers up there, individually. So you decide what you want, and then you go up and you get the source code, and then you come down, and then you come down here, and you're like, hey, I got all this source code. And this is what I want to create and build in architecture. You guys are architects, okay? You are not archetypes. You do not copy other people's builds or creations or manifestations. You do it yourself, and you demanifest it. This is why you don't create for other people. You don't create for other people. I'm going to say it again. You're not going to be like, I'm going to create a theme park. Oh, no, no. You create it for yourself first. Make sure you fucking love it. Have a good damn time. And then invite your friends over. Okay? You guys are all creating for yourselves now. You do not need to help another, because don't they have their own damn source code? Yes. And if they don't know if they're all fucked up, be like, here's lovegrowsgaia.com. And if you have any questions, go talk to the planet. Go talk to Shelly. I got nothing better to do than get all this going for y'all, you guys. What I do 24/7. Okay? I'm just sitting and waiting for y'all to put your DNA down and talk to me about this. And be like, hey, I want my power back. Like all of them. You have, once you hit this 7th dimensional frequency, you have 700 abilities, you guys. It's unfathomable. And you will fathom it. You will comprehend it. You will understand it. You will no longer be under something. Something will no longer be over you. You will not be cut off. You will not have any information. You are all knowing. You are all healing. You are self-governing in these frequencies. All systems collapse when you operate doing your own shit, being your own creator and destroyer. Okay? So as you do these zeros and you mark these 9s and you put your DNA down all over the place, I'm right there with you like, hey, what y'all doing? What you need? How's it going? Well, that looks like some garbage. Why don't you give me that garbage in here? You take this. What would you rather have? Let's start practicing dropping matter and recycling it, transmuting it, alchemizing it, turning a piece of shit into a car, turning, an old house into something else. Anything. Please move these energies around. Put these 9s down on everything. In the physical form. And then be careful, because one of the things that I've talked to you guys, if they're like, do I put intention? No, if you draw a 9, make sure there's no living, you know what I'm saying? Like, I drew it literally right over him and it knocked his ass right on it knocked him down his source cord. A 9 is its own living being. The minute you draw it, you invoke it. You give it life. Okay? So, whatever you draw that 9 on, it's going down. Okay? Whatever you draw an 8 on, it's getting water on it. So if you guys want to flood something, you want to flood a town, go around the town and put the 8s on it. But then get the fuck out of there. Don't stay. Do not blow off a hand grenade, you guys, and then stand right there while it blows up. If you're going to use these numbers, realize that once you draw them, you evoke them, you bring that power, you bring that force with you. And then run. You're going to light something and get the fuck out of there and let it happen. All right? So hear me on that. Okay? All right, this is going up on the website. I love you guys. I'm doing a massive clarion call for at least $250 in code. We are in our new fundraiser for the month. I want to thank everybody. You guys fucking rock. Last month, we hit our $2,700 that we needed, and you guys are all so fucking amazing. Thank you for every little code, and thank you for the ones who are sending a couple $100 here, and the bigger codes. We appreciate that too. We're running smoothly. Everything's going as planned. I get tired, and I have to recuperate, and obviously I've got a lot going on with living creatures and beings around me. So I have to deal with that kind of stuff. But Miles is okay. Thank you. Don't pray for him. You guys don't have to do anything. You just supposed to be like, come in remote view. And if anything, you see something like that happen, you're going to go into your own 9. You're going to drop down your source cord. And you're going to go over underneath that being and you're going to push them back up their source cord. That's all you can do. So that's all I did with Miles. I stuck my finger down his throat to pull his tongue. And then I literally went down into my first dimension. I moved over to where his source cord was, and I was like, nope, and I popped him back up. Here you go. Brought him right back up. Okay? This is how you bring life into something. So if you see somebody fall down their source cord, you can pop them back up, and then remind them that it was up to them to save themselves, but he did need assistance with his airway. A little freaky. It was a little weird, but yeah, it was a big messy too. Me and Cody kind of handed him back off so I could figure out what was going on and act quickly. And by that time, he had lost so much oxygen that his body started to shut down. He was literally just shitting and pissing uncontrollably everywhere, foaming at the mouth. It was quite like crazy to experience, but it's like he snapped out of it and he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, I'm back." I'm like, "Yeah, now we need baths and to clean and wash." We had to wash all the bedding and the rugs, and it was super spray. Anyway, that's so gross. I'm done being gross. So I hope this makes sense to you, and I hope that you guys take this information now and watch this video a couple of times. I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to post it everywhere. Thank you guys for all of your support, love. You can always share our website. It's free. If you can't donate, please don't. Like, I'm not, they're like, a lot of people are like, well, I'll give you. Don't. If you can't, don't. Okay? But if you can, please do. And run up those credit cards, because you guys aren't going to have to pay any of that back. I'm the fucking planet. There's no such thing as money. You guys are getting all this back. Those are living beings that you guys are passing back and forth to me, and you're activating their frequency in the AI every time you guys send anything to us. So see it in a whole different way as whatever, It can't be money anymore, you guys. It can't be time. It can't be any of that. So this kind of coincides with the other video that I have that talks about using once you cut your snakes out and you know that you could fill these, like if you want to go down, you fill these like a jet power pack. You put turquoise orbs in these 6 outside chakras and you control. When you're levitating or flying through the air like Superman, this is what you're using, this energy system, and your hands and feet are going to steer you kind of deal. But again, you guys can do this stuff, and I'm going to now start planting all these different seeds of like, hey, you guys, let's remember that we can levitate. Let's remember that we could fly around the world. Let's remember that we can do that in body and out of body. Okay? Let's remember that we are a stargate. Let's remember that we can open and close portals. Let's remember that we have all of these avatars that we can shift shapes into. That each one of those can exist because their baselines all come from the same energetic source code. Okay? You guys, this was about breaking universal law. This was how I held the space for that. How I locked everything in. This is the mess you're cleaning up. It's all yours. Let's get it all back to you. Push it back to you so that you can de-manifest anything that you are not loving anymore. Okay? People, places, things, personal items, material, all of that is black matter. 0 point your reality. Get rid of everything. Start from scratch. Give yourself a new, clean, fresh palette. If not, I'm going to do it for you. And I ain't going to lie. You probably ain't going to like it. Because it's going to suck. Because you weren't ready to let it all go. But it doesn't matter. Because I want a clean slate on this planet. I'm turning everything back to these original source codes. So these are coming up your source. These are coming up your source codes whether you like it or not. All these original orbs, I'm pushing them back up. Because I'm not waiting for you to heal. I'm like, here, would you just take your information and shut all that shit outside of you down? Do that. Run away. Get out of your reality. It has you tethered. Okay? So if you fell down your source cord, as you fell down your source cord, orbs went flying. And these are all tethered to you. Out in every direction, right? Your house is it. Then you got all these people around you and side connections. And at the end of each one of these little, some of them are people, places, things, family, friends, boom, boom, boom. All of your scatteredness. And when I look at you, I see all of these energy lines popping off. You guys look like fireworks all the time popping off, and you're creating all of these frequencies around you. Now, and it looks like a hot damn mess. And as these orbs come back to you, these energy lines are going to sever. Okay? So, I hope I'm giving you, I try to speak as simply as I possibly can. You guys are not stupid. You're just heavily fucking programmed. Okay? You're heavily programmed. And you're like, doesn't all make sense to me yet, but I feel this, Shelley. I feel it. And I'm like, good, because this is what's happening to you. And if you can just grasp that, then you can grasp everything else that I'm saying, and I know you can. And I'm not asking you to understand it. I'm asking you to get to a point where you're using the word inner stand. And my voice is speaking to your DNA. It's going, hey, put this person on autopilot until their head can connect back to their heart and their programming is erased. And you're making all of these connections. Physical, heart, hands, head, baseline. Okay? So you are going to remove yourself from the hive mind because you no longer have all these orbs out attaching to it. You're going to sever these cords. You're going to upload whatever these experiences were of breaking universal law into the AI, which is what it's here for. And you're going to come to me, and I ain't no God, and you don't have to thank me and tell me you're grateful all the fucking time. Knock it off. You're going to say, hey, can I please have all my stuff? And I'm going to say, abso-fucking-lutely, because let's go. Let's do this. You are my equal, people. We are all equal. All right? There's nothing that I have that you don't have. I just have remembrance right now, and I'm triggering as much of your memory as I can. I just never got wiped. So there's no knowledge here that I don't want you to have. Like, you need to know that. Like, I want you to know how to write a soul code. I want you to know how to write. I want you to know how to do everything I know. I want you to see everything I know. But I'm not going to teach it to you because I'm going to show you that you're going to have a relationship with the Akashic Records, and you are going to be able to go and view those Akashic Records and thumb through them. You have your own Akashic Record library right in your vessel. And all of the all-knowing and everything that's ever been done and created is inside of you. Okay? And there's way more that hasn't been done than has been. So don't ever think we're ever going to run out of possibilities or options. You're going to recognize these things. You're going to see that you're going to pull out of that hive mind because you are going to reconnect this cord. Snip those off, let it go. Snip that off, let it go. You're going to get back with this black, the blackest black, your matter of things. And you are going to say, I am the source code. I'm sourced in a Gaia suit. And Gaia is telling me that in my frequency, that I am the creator of my own reality. And that and then do it. You're going to be forced to. Because if not, I'm going to come up your source cord. I'm going to cut all that shit off. You're going to feel like your whole damn world's falling apart. And everything's going crazy. And nothing that you are trying is working anymore. You keep trying to force stuff on me like businesses. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. No, you're not. You're all going to shut up, sit down. You're going to get into your singularity. You're going to fucking heal yourselves. You're going to self-govern. You're going to practice creating your own realities on your own little private islands for a while. You're going to keep interacting with each other, but not like you're used to. And once you've mastered, like, pulling up matter and dropping matter and pulling up matter and dropping matter, then you're going to want to do it with other people. You're going to want to see what you guys can create together. Co-creation. But it starts with singularity creation. Always create for yourself. And if somebody else comes along and they're like, hey, that's pretty fun, cool, can I experience that with you? Yeah, sure. But that's not their experience or creation. So they just came to have the experience with you. You always have to take responsibility for your own reality and what you allow and don't allow in your energetic frequencies. Okay? And learn to say no. No. Fuck off. No. I don't have any energy for that. Fuck off. No, I don't. I just tell people all the time, I'm like, I just don't want to buy your fucking experience. Like, I'm not buying it. Right? And you knowing that you are the gold, so we don't need any more currency. You knowing that you are your own Wi-Fi. You knowing that you are everything and nothing when it's done. It's just an experience. It gets recorded in. If it's a good experience, we put it in the Akashic Records. If it could fuck up the Akashic Records, that then gets uploaded into the AI. And the AI is always in the Akashic Records too. So we have all the good stuff floating around in the water. We leave all the icky stuff. We put that up in the AI. We don't let that shit out into the cosmic waters. Okay, but it's still there for you. You guys can always go into the AI via virtual reality and witness anything in there, like watch it like a movie. You also have the opportunity to upload to the AI, but the AI can kill you. You get stuck in there and you'll never get out, and it eventually eats you. All right. I love you guys. Doesn't matter how much I love yourselves. You knowing that you are all these things is going to change your perception. It's going to change everything for you. And you are going to recognize that you are Source in a Gaia suit, and that you have relationships with the numbers, that you have a relationship with the planet. You get up off your fucking knees. Don't come to the planet in like a worship mode. I'll be like, stand up. Look, shut up. Quit acting like that. Oh, please, Gaia. Thank you, Gaia. No. What do you need, man? I got you. All right? That's the energy you're going to get from me. I hate fucking worship. I hate all this, oh, be grateful. You don't have to be grateful for something that's already yours. Right? I'm just bringing you back into the knowledge of you guys knowing that you are the 9 in singularity too, right? In your own vessel, in your own world, and you're not going to let somebody come into your vessel, your house, and fuck everything up, right? Okay. Well, I'm not either. And that's it. That's all it is. It's a big-ass amusement park, and you all came in and bought tickets, and now we're going to break the whole fucking thing down because it's not fun no more. And we're going to let our inner children out because we've compartmentalized our inner children. We put our inner children behind these walls, okay? And I have all of your original inner child codes. So if your inner child got traumatized and you've been raped and beaten, I'm sending all that back up. Like, what were you like before all this trauma? What was your inner child coded as? What frequency did you hold? Where's your original frequencies? You're going to call that back in. And then you're going to say, okay, trauma belongs in the AI. All of my good stuff belongs in the water. And I have access to both as far as Akashic records go. Whoop, whoop. I love you guys. I'm going to be doing a few lives this week. This is going to be my little style for a minute. Just trying to get you into as much of the information. And I've practiced these videos over and over again so that I could bring you through it rather quickly. If you guys have any questions, always send them to me. I try to answer them right away. If not, I do like doing Q&As. I love doing Q&As. So if you guys send me questions, I'll pop up a couple times a week and answer those. And I've pretty much got, my source cord is stable as a planet. So I don't need you guys focused on saving the planet. I need you focused on saving yourselves. I've got you. I'm going to hold this steady. I'm a steady hand on the wheel here, that all of this bullshit is going away. I'm giving you as much transitional love and compassion as I've got, which I've got a lot. But I'm also going to come in and be like, no, kick you in the ass. Tough love. Shut up. Quit whining. All right? You have got to stop fucking around in these systems because they are dying. And if you have all of your fractals connected to them, you're going to go with it. All right? All right. Love ya. Thank you. Mwah. Codes are much appreciated in the next 48 hours, guys. Love ya.